seem like all that long ago that I fell in love with the first Genesis G70. So I met someone. This is the G70 from Genesis, and I don't know, but I have a feeling we're gonna get along great. And yet, here it is again, looking, if I can quote Dolly Parton, better than a body has a right to. Technically, this is a refresh, but it's a fairly extensive one, so we're gonna talk about it. The main thing that's changed here is the looks. No, we don't think that's being superficial. It's just working really hard at being handsome, and we're simply acknowledging that. The G70 follows in the footsteps of its bigger siblings, the G80 and flagship G90 sedans, with the signature Genesis design language. Those stand out as the crest grille that may or may not look a tad large on this compact sedan model, and the horizontal line quad LED head and taillight design. I really appreciate it when a car has such a signature look that I can recognize it when I'm out on the road. I especially like it when it's one that I think really works. Okay, mostly I like it because it makes me feel super smart. Overall, the appearance gains in the athletic, elegant, and dynamic categories. Exterior, yeah, that's one for the win column. Not a whole lot changes in the interior, but what is significantly different is going to happen in this area right here. So the manual transmission that used to be available on the 2-liter turbo is no longer an option. I tip my hat to Genesis for even trying, but seriously, like 5 people bought it. So we have no one to blame but ourselves. My previous assessment of the interior stands. The seats are sport-inspired and supportive and comfortable. The bolsters really create a thorax cocoon. Is that a thing? Well, it is now. And you feel like you are completely in them. They also shift and adjust depending on which mode you're in. So I still feel exactly the same way as I used to about sitting in the rear. If you're a danger, you can totally sit behind a Lynn. But if you're a Lynn, you know, if you're anybody, you're not sitting behind a danger. But you know, it is very luxurious in here, even if you're squished. There are 2 engine options under the sexy new hood. Base models get the 2-liter turbo inline 4. That's a decent number of horses for a base model. There's also a 3.3-liter that has a twin turbo and makes 365 horsepower, but 375 pound-feet of twist. Those are some amazing numbers. Now, I've already done a full review on how this thing drives. You can check it out here. I kind of want to know what Mike Danger thinks.
For this recent G70, the steering has been retuned and feels a lot quicker. And it actually has a little bit of weight on it. I like the weight in my hands. It makes me feel like I'm actually doing something. Another change is that the higher powered engine gets a launch control setting and a Sport Plus mode. Revs get a little higher so you can stretch out those 8 gears on the transmission. Man, the gears in Sport Plus mode love to stretch and hang all the way up there. This thing redlines at over 6,000 RPM, so that gear is just stretching to be up there. I don't even have to use the paddle shifters, but a nice little touch is this rev matches when it downshifts. It's pretty sporty. You get 3 more horsepower than on the previous G70 in that Sport Plus mode. Hey, we'll take all that we can get. And that exhaust note sounds amazing. So while daily driving this, you can throw it into a turn and still get a little bit of excitement before the nannies kick in and remind you there are rules to the road that we must obey. The G70 is the lowest and widest car in this segment, and the torque vectoring system uses inner rear wheel braking for stability. Comfort mode is a great daily setting. It's compliant and relaxed, but still lets you know that it's got sporty chops. Not too sedate that it will put you to sleep. Sport and Sport Plus mode ratchet up the experience, but not in a way that you're going to need a massage afterwards. And visibility? I have no complaints. This is actually a sports sedan that you can see out of. That's a win in my book.
It seems like Mike Danger and I agree. The G70 is a great sport sedan that doesn't forget the sedan part of the equation. Yeah,
This car checks off a lot of boxes.
And wow, it needs to be, because its competitive set reads like a who's who of German automotive royalty. The BMW 3 Series, Mercedes C-Class, and Audi A4. That's just for starters. The great thing about the G70 up against those guys, the G70 costs less. Pricing on the base model starts at $37,525, and that's pretty loaded. The 3.3-liter Sport gets a $42,100 base price, but it can rise quickly into the $50,000 range with the Sport Prestige. Hey, Prestige is expensive. All-wheel drive can be had on any model for an extra $2,000. In the tech department, the G70 gets some good upgrades, including a 10.25 navigation screen and an 8-inch digital instrument cluster. Other standard features include 18-inch wheels and leatherette seats. The base Prestige gets 19-inch wheels and a sunroof with wireless charging and an upgraded audio system. Top of the pyramid is the Sport Prestige that gets the 3.3-liter engine, Napa leather, Brembo brakes, limited slip differential, and an electronically controlled suspension. There are some new safety features, including a Level 2 autonomous system that includes a highway driving assist and a lane following assist, blind spot and rear cross-traffic collision avoidance, and safety exit warning.
I really liked it before. I like it even better now. The Genesis G70 is a bona fide sports sedan that is also great value for the money. This little guy is punching way above its class. Or you know what? Maybe it's all the other guys that need to be punching a little bit harder.